Welcome to the Bold Analysis. Today I listened to a debate that was being conducted in Citizen TV. That debate was that talk show was involving Edwin Sifuna and Bonnie Khalwale. And the point of contention is one thing that I've been talking about in this channel. And I'm glad that it's actually getting the attention of the mainstream media houses. We want to face it as it is. The housing fund is a stinking corruption pit. Stinking. The reason why it is stinking, and Kenyans are wary, that this could be money going down the drain. It has ever been. In this country, we don't have perpetual succession of policies. And perpetual succession of policies, what that means is simple example, that when UDA took over from former President Uhuru Kenyatta, there was a quick and not even well thought out of reversal of nearly 70% of Uhuru Kenyatta policies. Out of the big four, the only one that President Ruto has picked is the housing fund. And today, I want us to look at it this way. And I grabbed my point on this housing fund from that talk show. It was very informative, asking very important question. We need to face the facts. Unless we want money, we create a pool where we can take money whenever we want. We need to be very realistic about housing fund. 30 years mortgage. Housing fund, in short, is a 30-year mortgage. A 30-year mortgage, even our constitution envisions a 10-year term, even if Ruto is to serve a 10-year. How are we sure that even the next two regimes after President Ruto, if he serves one or two, the next regimes after President Ruto are going to take up that crap? And that is why I need to put it this way. There are some three aspects I want to point out in the housing fund, and I wish we can all take keen attention and look at this. I asked a question to a very senior person in this channel, and my question was this: how does the 3% housing levy to support the government housing plan, where does it fall in economic recovery plan? Where does it fall? And clearly, what the economists will tell you is that the housing fund is a crash program veering off from an economic recovery plan that is being talked about. I have listened to state civil servants using a lot of English semantics to try to spin and twist different angles about the housing fund. But one fundamental question that they are not answering is this: how urgent is the housing plan in respect to economic recovery? What is the input of the housing plan in respect to economic recovery? There is a simple logic in this. We are saying that we have given subsidies, those investors that are going to, it's done through PPP. PPP is public-private partnership. So we are saying that those that are going to help us build, the investors that are going to construct these houses are going to enjoy some tax exemptions, so that lowers down the cost. But at the same time, we have our foreign investors that are producing cement and importing in the country. We have increased the tax on imported cement. Now, we are net cement producers in the region, but by the virtue that we've already become a market for some other cement producers outside, means that maybe there is a deficit that we still need. The moment you increase tax in the imported cement, it's already a leeway for those which come here, the price will go up. Now, cement is not a product, or it's not a material that you can say it doesn't have a supplement. So you either use cement or cement. That means that even the local producer here, we're giving them the ground to go at par. Who doesn't want very extraordinary profits? You look at it and you look at it this way. We are taking some 1,200, some 1,000 to 3,000 from people's pay slips. We are taking this money from this population, and they are saying our salary has not increased. So we've reduced even our purchasing power from the people that are with the payroll. In the words of Edwin Sifuna, let me say the second bit. I listened to the PS Charles Hinga, a man I hold of high regard, in Spice FM, saying that the housing plan is part of their intervention to address the growing slum in the country. And I analyzed it here. Edwin Sifuna is saying the issue of the slum is not a housing problem. The issue of the people staying in the slum is an income problem. I don't know whether you agree with this. He made it this way, and I totally agree. Even me, I think I have relatives who used to stay in Kibera when they were earning some peanuts. When their income advanced, you could then see them moving from Kibera to Jamhuri. Moving kidogo kidogo, they move from Jamhuri to maybe an own home in Kitengela or Kajiado. What am I saying? If I can have good income, I'll just move out of the slum and either build my house or be in a position to live a decent life. And so, the housing plan that has been wrapped in very big English, PPP, we are subsidizing, but one thing they are not saying is after the 3% levy, you need to go to mortgage. I want to agree with Edwin Sifuna that the problem is an income problem. I want to use a very good example. Do you want to convince me that I will be, because government has availed a house, a one-bedroom house that goes for, let's just be realistic, that goes for 100,000, not 100,000, 10,000, and a two-bedroom house that goes for 10,000, a mortgage, I'm paying mortgage of 10,000, and that house has been built in Langata. So, someone saying in Kibera, because the government has already created a house for him, and government is forcing him that he must live a decent life, he will have to move to Kibera and go to Langata to stay there and pay the 10,000 mortgage because the house has been built. That is unrealistic because the house rent is just one cost and it must be harmonized with the other costs. People staying in the slums, as we say, are paying fees for their children in school. The same people need food. The same people they have a dependency ratio. There is a whole lot of bills that are there. Rent is just one of them. So he will opt to pay rent 1,500 or 2,000 so that he can get another 5,000 to pay fees for the daughter or the son in a day secondary school. So it is an income problem. And we should not lie and cheat the country that we are building new houses. You can't build people houses. The best thing you can do is to create a conducive environment where, and conducive environment here is, we have jobs, we can affordability of the product so that we have a lot of spending cash that we can spend. You know, I don't want to say idle cash, but after minus all the expenditures, what can remain in our pockets that we can use, we then opt for what we want. That is why I still believe that the housing problem, the one problem is it has veered off the economic recovery plan. Number two, the problem, it is not going to help us solve slum. The slum problem is not about houses. Let me say, even in Kibera, there are houses that are going at 20,000. Yes, challenge me. Go to Mathare. There is a place called Stage 10, 310 around Airbase there. They are decent houses. Why are people not going there? And even out of Kibera, in other areas, there are houses. The people in Kibera are not going for those houses, not because they don't want, but because affordability. So let's be realistic. It's an income problem. Lastly, how is the housing fund is being created as a national program? But the truth here is, the housing is not a universal problem for all the 47 counties. We are deducting 3% from payrolls of people coming from Turkana, Siaya, Malaba in Busia, Kilifi, Nairobi, and everywhere. But while housing can be a problem for people staying in Nairobi, I want to agree. Someone in my county of Siaya, housing is not a problem. No. People are staying in their homes. Their priority is not a house. So I want to help President here. I know you normally hit the Azimio side when they tell you that I don't want a house, I want to do this thing with my money. Now that is not it. Now me, I want to tell you the reason why, on my ground, why it is not a common problem. In Turkana, do people want food or they want houses? Okay. You go and build their 200 affordable houses in Turkana. Do they want it? It's a problem in towns because there is congestion. The housing is a problem in places because Kenyans have also felt like the rural counties, rural areas does not have a potential of them getting jobs. So people are moving to towns, congestion, a lot of people needing houses, and of course with the low income, the little opportunities and resources in the cities are overwhelmed. So people can't get. The small income that you're getting, I know a gentleman who gets 400 per day, so that's around 10,000 if I'm not wrong. Someone earning 10,000 can only pay 2,000 for a house rent. So what will it opt for? He will opt for Kibera. So let's address the problem. Let's not be very simplistic. It's not going to help. It would be very realistic to me if Kenya Kwanza says we are deducting 3% from your salary, and don't tell us a levy. That thing is it's a mandatory deduction. If it's a contribution, a chama, it's not a must to join. You know, I saw PS trying to compare housing fund and chama. No, a chama, I have an option of joining or not. But because this is a mandatory, it's not voluntary, this is a deduction, which is a tax. It will be a little bit reasonable and of a longer plan if you take 3% and say out of 3% per month, you're going to have around, is it 9 billion? So in what we do when we pull all these resources, we are going to establish some companies in specific counties. You know, Sia gets 3 companies, the other one gets, so that we produce or value addition on some of what we have. For Nyanza counties, have a problem with fish. Fish processing plant somewhere in Kisumu or Homa Bay. So that these people who are connecting, you tell them that when we do this, but after perhaps a year, you earn some interest from what you've been. It makes some sense. But just taking people's money looks like robbery, stinks like corruption. That's my take. Hi guys, my name is Kevin of the Bold Analysis. Are you looking for fresh Kenyan flour? Then you need credible, certified and trusted company. And that is why I want to introduce to you Jay's Flowers Limited. Jay's Flowers Limited is a company that is currently based at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And what you need to do is very simple. When you place your order with Jay's Flowers Limited, they will help you to get fresh flowers from the farm and also process the exportation to the country of destination. This is a trusted company that is currently working with clients from 7 continents across the world. What you need to know, you need to get more information by contacting them here, +254 7433 94954. Jay's Flowers Limited, the home of quality flowers.